It's not that I'm fast. It's not that I'm strong. It's not because I come from a family of fighters. It's because I'm the smartest up here. There's no fighter out there that can match me up here.
What's up? It's your boy Reemus, and welcome to the Champset podcast, the podcast for champions. What's up? It's your boy Reemus, and listen, I'm the doubt killer, belief filler, the one that's gonna convince you that you're a winner. Because give me a little time, and I'll add Champset to your mind. We're a group of winners, and we do everything to get a win. Because to us, allowing a loss is a sin. This is the home for champions in training. This is the Champset podcast. And today we're going to be talking about creating and fine tuning you as a killing machine in the ring. That persona that is you, not the person who is outside of the ring and he's all, nice to everyone. He's friendly, maybe even soft sometimes. We're not talking about that guy. We're talking about the killer machine that gets into the ring and becomes a whole nother person. It's that other side to you. It's the other persona. It's the other character that you have deep inside of you that you allow to play when you get inside that squared circle. Now, this is important, right? It's important to look at this guy as someone who deserves the attention. He commands and demands that you, as the person outside, right, crafting that character that's going to step into the ring. It demands that you pay so much detail to it, so much so that the small details get your attention. The small details deserve your attention for it to be adjusted. So, for example, what I mean by this is we know that in boxing, it's a brutal sport. But not only that, it's one where the athlete is probably one of the most skillful athletes on the planet. And I mean, for example, with other sports, we know that you can kind of get away with maybe not being on top of your game. But if you're not on top of your game as a boxer, as a fighter, it's really gonna pay. Like you're gonna suffer a consequence because of that. And most fighters understand this. So I would say more so than most sports, you could say we take it more serious than any other sport. So compared to other sports, we take it more serious. But for you who's a champion in training, who wants to be someone who's much better than these other guys, who wants to be a boxing god, you have to go even further than your competition. And that means you have to make the small details and the small differences get your attention. Because when you're in the ring, those small differences, those small margins, those small inches can lead to a very, very big difference. For example, you could be dodging a blow, right? But do you know that if you're 0.001% slower in one of those, one movement or one transition into that defensive maneuver that you're about to do could be the difference between a fight? It's almost like when you get a cut and when the doctor says, oh my God, if that was 1 millimeter to the side, you could have died. That's what it's like in the ring. You take 1 second, just 0.3 seconds too long, and it could signal the end of that match because you could get knocked out. Or it even could signal the start of the end because you never know. That could be the punch that takes some wind out of you, takes a little bit of hope out of you, and it inspires your opponent a little bit. The same way that the small differences make up a big difference in the ring, we also have to, because of that, believe that the small differences make a big difference in training. So you've got to look at every single aspect of training as that important. Look at every single aspect of training as something which could make a terrifically big difference in the fight. So, for example, right, I saw a post not too long ago from Conor McGregor, and he was basically saying like, going into the sport, I was always just training. I was always just, training hard in the octagon, in the gym and stuff. But then I realized I don't invest that same level of attention to detail in other areas of the game. So, for example, it could be diet or could be like analysis and reports of how your fitness is doing and improving and all of this stuff. All of the stuff that really defines the difference of today's technology, really, compared to the older days. right? And he was basically saying, you know, now I've watched like LeBron James, and I see that he spends so much money on the stuff that is outside of the sport itself, right? And it makes such a big difference for him, and I see why he's a good athlete, so I want to do the same. That's what Conor McGregor said. And I was reading that, I was thinking, you know, I could have actually told you this. I could have actually told you that you have to take it that serious, not just the in the octagon stuff, not just the in the ring stuff. You've got to take everything outside of that as being crucial as well. So I'm going to tell you it the same way. I'm thinking, you know what, I could, even though Conor McGregor, he's so big and, you know, multi-millionaire, I'm thinking I could have told you that. So I'm going to tell you guys this. You have to look at, say, for example, dieting. You should be even trying to make like reports and analyze your progress from one training to the next. Literally, like, get a notepad and write this stuff down. Like, even write what combinations you throw down good, or if you can get someone to help you with that, and and look at everything that you can as making a crucial difference. And I call this the art of fine tuning. That's what I like to think of it as. It's like not everyone would do this, but you're gonna fine tune those little small differences. So take everything seriously, from this, the mind, from this, the body, and just absolutely everything. So for example, I spoke about this before. You can get like these little forearm grips, right? That is useful because you can use it anywhere you go, and it strengthens your forearm. Now that's an example of something that's so small that could make a big difference. You know why? Because George Foreman, who was one of the most devastating punchers in not just heavyweight history but boxing history period, one thing they would say about him is that he has very strong forearms. And it's like something that not a lot of boxers would focus on, but if you do focus on it, then you make a difference. Or for example, they say Manny Pacquiao has big calves, and sometimes that helps him to generate punching power from the legs. Like, maybe not a lot of people, I would say, focus on calves. They might focus on the hamstrings and the big muscles, but then you could be the one to focus on the calves. But then imagine this: you focus on the calves, and then you focus on the forearms, and then you focus on the mind, and you focus on the eating, and you focus on every other small thing. And although it's just 1%, each of those things are just 1%, you add up the little 1%, and they make up to 100% potentially. Because I would say that people right now are training to 15% or 25% of what their potential actually is. So where you find the bigger, where you make up for the other 75% is in those small margins. But nobody wants to do it because now you're getting into a land where you have so many things to focus on. Even though they're small, there's a lot of them. So that's why a lot of people don't do it. But again, if you do it, you'll be one of a few. This is one reason why I'm doing the masterclass events, because this is a way for you to fine tune everything that no one else is going to focus on. Everything that everyone else is just leaving to chance, you can be the one to capitalize on it. You can be the one to make a difference on those small aspects. So when you get into the ring, you are going to have the edge. It's just a foregone conclusion. It's just inevitable. It just, there's no going against it. So anyway, that's all I have time for today. Stay focused. Let's get this greatness. Champset. If you liked that video where we was going over the mental aspects of fighting, and if you want to take your mindset and boxing to the next level, what I want you to do is check out the online recordings of the Reemus Boxing Masterclass, which was a class that we did to go over fight strategy and mindset concepts. It's 2 hours worth of recordings in which we go over different things such as dealing with pressure, controlling the mind, fight strategies, and designing your mind so that it's ready for war. All you have to do is go in the link in the description so that you can watch it online, or download it so you can watch it wherever you want to watch it. Remember, boxing is mostly mental, so you have to train your mind just as much as you train your body, and I'm sure this is going to help. So after you watch it, let me know what you think. Peace.